All right, my friends, welcome back to another V-Rising video. This is going to be a continuation of one of the videos I did recently talking about balance in V-Rising and some of its issues. Last time we talked about this, we spoke a lot about projectile spells and offensive spells and how they are very weak compared to defensive spells. And I mentioned that there was a possibility to maybe rework some of the jewel effects either into the spell or just in general to make them more interesting and have more consistent value across the board, to maybe have them be more tempting to use instead of just defensive spells like this. This time we're going to be talking more, instead of about spells, mostly we're going to be talking about weapons. Specifically, the two most broken weapons in the game, Hand of Winter and Siren's Wail. And I know what you're thinking, broken, oh, that just means overpowered. No, when I say broken, I actually mean these, in my opinion, are game-breaking weapons currently in the game. Specifically Hand of Winter. Maybe not Siren's Wail, but definitely Hand of Winter. I think Hand of Winter is completely broken. So, why is that? Oh, let's look at the abilities real quick, get the whole idea here. So, Q, Crushing Blow, deals lots of bonus damage to frozen enemies. That's nice. But the real broken thing here is Smack. Hits inflict chill, and hitting a chilled enemy freezes it for 2 seconds. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. At first glance, the second half of that ability, hitting a chilled enemy freezes it for 2 seconds, is probably what the issue is here. But in reality, the issue is actually the first half of the ability. Hits inflict chill. So why is that? Well, it's because there is a jewel effect on Veil of Frost. If you read at the very top here, the next primary attack consumes chill and inflicts freeze lasting 4 seconds. So what that means is you can hit them with E, like this, and then dash and hit them, and it will guaranteed freeze them. So why is that an issue? Well, many reasons. Primarily, it's because if we look at Smack's cast time, this move is essentially impossible to react to. 0.35 seconds is nothing, especially on servers with any kind of latency, ping, lag, or any kind of issue like that. You won't even see that this weapon's coming out, like this attack is coming out, and even if you were to react to it on your screen in time, because of lag and ping and latency, the server actually calculated that it already hit you before you did your dodge. So there's no way to react to this. On top of that, you can see how far away I'm standing here. This is whip sweet spot range. And it turns out it's also smack range. You can smack somebody with E. The range of the whip, which is like the longest melee attack by far in this game. Like, I mean, this is like the second closest is like this, We're not even close. This is hitting him, and then look at this. There you go. We can hit him anyway. So that means that if you're within whip range and you have dash, Q, and E all up at once, you can do this. And it is a true combo. True combo, for anyone who doesn't know, it means that if you hit someone with the opener of that combo, every other attack is basically impossible to dodge. There's no way you can get out of it. If you get hit by this, you're getting hit by this. And if you're getting hit by that, you can get hit by that. Like, there's no way out of it. You can even do things like this if you wanted to. With like Frost Leap, land on them, and then hit them if you want to do a little bit extra damage there. And if, you're an open world where, everybody's running potions like all the time, you can be running buffs. Let's just go ahead and use Blood Rage with a physical damage output jewel. Let's see how much damage this whole thing looks like. So here we go. 360 on the final hit. Everything else crit. We're looking at almost 500 damage, like mid 400s damage, all off of something that is impossible to react to. You cannot react to this. Like, you just can't. You can guess if it's coming. You can try to like space out of it if you're lucky. But the problem is, if you think about spacing, like, oh, I'll just space out of it, right? As cool as that of an idea as that sounds, it simply is not a thing. Like, what are you going to do? Use pistols and spam from long range, right? Well, here's the problem with that. This brings us to our next thing. Well, I'll use pistols. That arranges the whip and arranges the mace. So we're good, right? I'll use pistols. Well, here's the problem. Cold Snap also exists, and it has a jewel effect. If you see it, the third one down, when triggered, charges target's weapon with Arctic energy. Next primary attack does damage. and inflicts chill. And for some reason, similar to the ice block jewel that existed in the Gloomrat patch, that effect and Veil of Frost's effect happen simultaneously. What does that mean? Well, it means you can do things like this. Proc a cold snap, dash, and instantly refreeze. So what that means is you can do things like this. If you're long range and someone's pistoling at you and they shoot, well, you can just do this, right? You can just do this, and dash, and then there we go. Dash towards them and hit them with a whip. And you're this far away and they get frozen. There's nothing they can do. Okay? So that means you can do things like this. Boom. There you go. 316 damage, all from that. And like I said, that is, pistol range. So what you can do, go to crossbow range or like longbow? Like, honestly, you can still do the same thing with longbow and crossbow, by the way. Like this right here, if they proc that, they can actually still dash whip you. See? So it is broken. Okay, hopefully you understand. This is completely broken. All right, next weapon we're going to talk about is Siren's Wail. First ability, rain of bolts, yada yada, 2 more bolts, who cares? Weaken, doesn't matter. The Q is not what we're looking at here. The E snapshot is the issue. Consume weaken to deal 50% bonus damage and inflict a 2-second fear. What that means is if you hit them with any effect, any weapon that is imbued or infused with illusion or weaken, you can combo that with crossbow E and get a fear, which kind of lines up a guaranteed auto attack, which does a lot of damage. You can do you can run it on slashers, whip. Those two can combo into it, but primarily the most important one is greatsword. The reason being is greatsword Q into crossbow E is a true combo as well. So we have 2 true combos. Okay, there's nothing you can do if you get hit by the crossbow, or sorry, the greatsword. If you get hit by the greatsword, you're getting hit by the rest of the combo, and there's nothing you can do to get out of it. You can even do things like this. Dash to guarantee and do 168 damage auto attack from that. You can even, let's go ahead and put buffs on and do the whole thing. There we go. Big, big, big damage. Let's do it one more time because that seemed like it was a little bit of issue there. There we go. Almost 200 damage off of that right there. Like that auto is almost 200 damage. I just want to point that out. This was almost 200 damage in a single hit. Okay. So, issue with this is you combine all of these, right? So, in my opinion, Siren's Wail is not as bad as Hand of Winter. I think Hand of Winter is completely broken. I think Siren's Wail is definitely way overtuned. The issue for me is when you combine everything on here, you have such an insane amount of true combo potential. It is crazy. So if I'm this far, I can do this and approach from that far away, right? I can approach from this far away and get the combo going. It's also very, very safe because if I hit that greatsword Q and do this, I can walk backwards and then hit them with this. And while they're feared, by the way, they are going this way. They walk away from you. These little units don't, but actual vampires will walk away from you. They start walking away, and then you hit them with the crossbow auto, and you usually end up about right here. I mean, there's no counterplay for them, right? There's nothing they can do. They can't like just be like, oh, it's fine. I'll do my move now. Like you're so far away that it's just, you're in a safe spot. So first thing, unreactable E into 400 something damage combo. Second thing, ridiculously long range greatsword Q that is reactable, but if it lands, does so much damage and is really, really safe. It's like almost 400 damage as well. If you do a dash auto, it definitely is above 400 damage there. So why is this a problem? Why are these things a problem? Okay, I get it. They're really, really strong, really, really powerful. Why is it such a problem? Well, here's why. It makes it so that if you are in a position, or if you are fighting someone, and you are not using this specific setup, where you have Veil of Frost with the freeze jewel, and you have a Siren's Wail, and you have weaken infused greatsword, you have Hand of Winter. If you have those things, you have 3 to 5 additional CC true damage combos that you can do that the other person who doesn't have them can't do. They don't have access to them, right? You know, it'd be one thing if it was like, well, I use Slasher into Spear Q, right? You know, that's something that anyone can do. Anyone has access to slashers. You can have access to spear. It's no big deal. But if you choose not to run Hand of Winter, or you're not running Mace, or you're not running specifically, you know, Weaken Infused on your Great Sword, and you're not running a Siren's Wail, etc., you don't have the ability, you know, you can't use those types of combos. So now you're basically just at a gigantic disadvantage because these give such huge reach. I mean, I'm doing half of the HP. I'm doing so much damage, it's going to be almost half of an enemy's health bar with one true combo that is impossible to get out of. With one combo, I'm doing half of an HP bar. That is a problem. Meanwhile, if you don't have that, you can't do it. Like, you have to just, you're working harder, you're working for more attacks, looking for different types of more telegraphed, less true combo damage. That is broken, needs to be fixed. I think that the way we fix that would be, there's a couple things we can do. First, remove the Jewel effect. Next primary attack consumes Chill to freeze. Just get rid of that ability. Doesn't need to be in the game. It's stupidly overpowered. It's honestly broken. Just get rid of it entirely. It doesn't need to be in the game. And if you were to remove it, Veil of Frost would still be super, super good. I mean, it's already an extremely good Veil effect. If you look at the jewels here, it says, next primary attack conjures a Nova of Frost, dealing bonus damage and inflicting chill. And that says the illusion explodes, dealing 40% ice, or doing damage and inflicting chill. Then increases the shield that you have. So I'm running right now, I'm running the Dread set here. So increased shields, increased heals. So what this does, go ahead and do this. Take a little bit of damage. So let's look how much this heals us and what the shield is. I'm at 896, right? You dash, heal, that was 62 HP, okay? And then let's look at the shield. That's 90 HP. So 62 plus 90. So we're at 152 HP increase, right? So 60 actual hard HP increase, 90 shield. So it's 152 shield increase. On top of that, the dash attack is doing 86 damage there, right? Let's do it again. A little bit less. Let's do it again. Oh, because he had a shield. That was 108 damage off of a dash auto. 100 damage. So you have 100 damage there and then 150 damage increase on me. That's a 250 HP swing just from Veil of Frost with these jewel effects, and that is not including the freeze. That is crazy. That reminds me a lot of what Veil of Blood was like in Gloomrot when it was the only dash that could heal. And it was just like the meta dash because it was the only one that could heal, and that heal was super strong. Well, that's what this kind of feels like to me, in that it just gives a gigantic HP swing where you're doing 100 damage and gaining 150. So it would be good without it. Get rid of it. Second thing you can do on Hand of Winter, remove the hits inflict chill. Get rid of that. It needs to be gone because there are other ways that you can enable this combo that are, even though they're slightly more telegraphed, you can still do things like throwing a Frostbat after the E, right? So like from this far away, you can throw a Frostbat, instantly freeze them, and then hit them with a Q if you want to. You can even do things like, you know, dash auto like this. Oh, I'm stupid. Dash auto like this, right? That one's a little more telegraphed, obviously. But to me, that's like a consuming chill to freeze. That's fine, but just don't add the chill effect. Just get rid of that. It needs to be gone. In terms of Siren's Wail, remove the 50% bonus damage on this. I think that's where you start. I don't know why it's doing bonus damage because the fear alone is already completely crazy. It doesn't need to be doing bonus damage. I think we start by removing the bonus damage and then see how that feels. And if it still feels awful, swap it. Get rid of the fear and add increased bonus damage against weakened enemies. I think that is kind of like how you approach the situation to see how well you can make it work. So anyway, that is going to be it for this specifically, for the weapons. The last thing we're going to talk about really quickly before we end this is going to be, I think that also one thing that needs to stop, you should not be able to swap equipment while you were in combat with a vampire. Some people are going to hate that I just said that, but look, I'm dead serious. I think it's stupid. So what's happening currently that I've seen people do, it's kind of crazy. You can run things like, you know, Grim set or Scholar set or Dread set or whatever. You can run these sets while you're fighting somebody up close. Maybe you want some more damage reduction and weapon CDR and, you know, whatever. So you're running the Dread set and a Spellweaver amulet. Or maybe you want more attack speed, so you're running Grim. Maybe you're a spellcaster, so you're running, you know, Maleficer or whatever it is. Yeah, the Maleficer set. You know, with Spellweaver or whatever. And then let's say the enemy starts running away, or you need to run away. Well, you can dash away, go wolf form, and then while you're in wolf form, even though you're in combat with a vampire, you can swap equipment to a rogue set and a green amulet to get more, like the most movement speed, and just start running away. So the issue with that is if the other person's not playing like that, and they happen to not be running this exact setup right now, they're at a disadvantage and they won't be able to catch you. Same thing goes like same thing goes on your end if you're like running after somebody and you're riding around or whatever, running around with this. Right before you get to them, you engage onto a fight. You just quickly swap into something else real quickly. Now you're in your tanky set here, and you're super tanky, and you're just happy to, you know, be that tanky. So I think that shouldn't be the case. You should not be able to swap. Now I guess that's actually not that big a deal, as long as you're not in combat with a vampire. I think that needs to change, right? But anyway, so that is going to be it for now. Let me know what you think about this. Honestly, in my opinion, these things are completely busted. I didn't even show one of the combos. We'll show that real quickly, what you can do here. So let's go ahead and do this, like this, right there, and do this. So that's another setup you can do with the cold snap into instant freeze. We'll do that one more time just in case you can see exactly how insane it is. Right like this, and there goes half their HP. Right, there's another combo you can do there. Extremely powerful. So let me know what you think about these. What do you think about Hand of Winter? Have you been experiencing this as well? Siren's Wail, what do you think about this? Do you think these things are good for the game, or if they should change? But regardless, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one.